Everybody, and welcome back to Book Mining. Today I am back with another video after like probably an eternity again, but today we're doing something different. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing the part 1 of my Agatha Christie book rankings and ranking all of the 16 books from Agatha Christie that I've read till now. So like every 15 or so books I'll do these parts. So part 2 will come out when I've read 30 Agatha Christie books, and then finally when I've read like all of those, I'll come up with a large video ranking every single Agatha Christie. But till then, these parts will have to do. Alright, part 1 from Agatha Christie, and I'll come straight to the video now. Alright, coming in at number 16 we have At Burson's Hotel. Okay, I'll be very honest about this one and not make this review very sugary. So let's just say this book is horrible. You don't get to see Miss Marple like almost at all in this book, and you just don't see the connect with her to this case, and it's just a very vague sort of book. And I think in the end, don't make fun of me, but I did not know for what the officer was giving the solution for. Yeah, of course it would have been a murder because it was Agatha Christie, but like you can just see how absolutely rubbish this book was. Like I could not make head or tail of this one. This definitely was one of her later ones, but then still do not recommend reading this at all. Alright, let's come to the next book, which is at number 15, and that is The Mystery of the Blue Train by Agatha Christie, and this is a Poirot case. Now this book is actually very promising, or let me just say this looks like a very promising book considering the setting of this book, that is on the Blue Train and then in Nice, France. That's like a very nice setting. And then there was the character choice, which was also very nice for this book, but I think it was not well executed at all. Like it is just pain reading this one. Yeah. And the solution, let me just tell you, gave me those vibes that I actually just want to get rid of this book and just finish it and just write it for the sake of writing it, and just like finish this book, and gave the most the most dumb solution ever. Please don't mind me right there. But yeah, no, this one is not one I recommend at all to you guys. And now coming in on number 14, we have a Carrying Misty, which is a Marple case yet again, and this one, let me just say, is not bad. It's not the best as well. Like you get that feeling that this is a very okay book, okay? But the setting is actually really nice, and I love that kind of Caribbean air, okay, and everything. Like the book really captures the setting very well. That's the Caribbean island, of course. Don't you see it right there? But yeah, the story itself was also pretty good, I think. But this book is, if I have to describe this in just one word, I'd just say okay. Yeah. And now coming in on number 13, I have got Pt1 House, which is a Hercule Poirot case, and this one is actually a very solid book, okay? The Pt1 House is definitely a very strong book, and the solution is nice, and the way things are actually coming up, it's just not wow really in that sense, okay? But it's really good, okay? Everything in this book, it's like it's an all-rounder. There's no category that it particularly lacks in and is like particularly excelling in, but it's a very strong case away from Agatha Christie, and it's something different as well of how things are actually happening in this case. It's a very nice book and will keep you guessing till the end for sure. I love reading this one a lot. So yeah, Pt1 House at number 13, and now we come to number 12, which is given to Agatha Christie's first book, which is The Mystery Fat Styles. Alright, so a little disclaimer before I actually talk just about this book. My opinion of this book is completely influenced by the fact that this book is actually Agatha Christie's first ever book, okay? So that is why I think its rating will always be a little higher than what it deserves if it would have been her first book. But considering that this was the first ever book from Agatha Christie, it's a Poirot case, it is exceptionally well. Okay, so it's a typical country house murder from Agatha Christie, and I love reading this one. And again, being this her first book, it was a very solid one, and I really liked it. Everything is well balanced out in this book. Nothing is too nice, nothing is too bad over there. So yeah, Agatha Christie Mystery of Red Styles, coming in at number 11. I have got for you 5 Little Pigs by Agatha Christie, another Poirot case, and this is actually a cold case. So if you don't know what a cold case is, it's basically, in this case, it's a murder that took place in the past, and then the husband's wife was actually accused and sent to prison for murder. In the past, it seemed like it was solved, but then what happens is that what brings back this case is that Caroline Clayle, when she's dying, leaves a letter for her daughter that she actually did not murder her husband, and gives no justification. But then the Crayle's daughter is very unsettled and actually asks Hercule Poirot to investigate, because 5 more people were present with the Crayles on the fatal day. So it's very nice and it's a very nice reconstruction, I'd say. Okay, so cases that take place in the past, I thought that it wouldn't have too much and it would be a lot of guesswork, but it's actually based on facts, and the way actually like Hercule Poirot is reconstructing the crime, although it's like 15, how many years ago? A lot of years ago, okay, at least 15 years ago. It's just brilliant, and actually says that Hercule Poirot has got some brain. Has a power in his little grey cells. Alright. Now, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming in at number 10, we come to Naturalize, which is again a Poirot case by Agatha Christie. Now, this book is a very solid one, okay, and the reason why I am not putting this a little higher is because although this book has got an exceptionally well done plot and a masterpiece of a solution, like a very intricately sort of plot, and then the solution is also very nice, and it's not at all boring, but then at the same time it really didn't have that thrilling factor that I seek in Agatha Christie's books. So that's why it's a little low, but this is a very solid one from her, and love reading this one. But a little more thrill in the book, and a little more happenings, and things going on would definitely have backed up the scores a lot. But still, this is a very nice one from her. Coming in at number 9, I'm losing track, sorry, is Cricket House. Now, this is basically a case that is actually a hit or miss with people, and this hit with me, but it did hit with me, but then I have some things to say about this one. Okay, so I think the solution is what is the one that is actually getting me this level. Okay, to place this book at number 9 is a lot of work, so I did a lot of thinking for this book. That is because the solution is very good, but it is very cold as well. Okay, so some people who are very sensitive might find this a little disturbing, but then at the same time you need to admire how beautiful, not beautiful, it's actually ugly because it's a murderer, but then like just how brilliant and something different the solution is. This is a very psychological kind of murder, okay, and if you don't like psychological kind of murders, you won't like it that much, but then like the beauty of how Agatha Christie is actually showing you the world is like, wow, like it's a totally different thing, and you will never guess who did it till the end. That's why it's here. Excellent book, I'd say still. Coming in at number 8, I think. At number 8, we have the first ever Marple, which is the murder at the vicarage. It's a typical, story set in the countryside, actually in Miss Marple's village itself, and it's just amazingly done. And this was one book that actually is very thrilling because things keep on happening, so it kind of keeps you intrigued in the book, because like some books are like you read them but your thoughts are elsewhere, but then this book really gets you in it because it's like so thrilling and things are like happening. It's a very nice book, I think, from Marple, and this is where I got to taste that bit of Marple. This is the first book that I read from her, and wow, that gossip that goes out and saying to marry me is just amazing to read, and how people say like, oh my gosh, those gossiping ladies are getting on my nerves, and like, wow, this is really true British life. People, ladies who are retired and they're like all into others, like, oh my god, Mrs. XYZ, did you hear that she was there or whatever? It's like amazing to actually hear that, and all that sarcasm. It's very funny also in that way. But yeah, number 8, this one coming in at number 7. We come to Murder at Retrospect. Now, disclaimer: you guys may place this higher, but this is a personal view, so please don't come at me in the comments, okay? So yeah, Murder at Retrospect at number 7. Let me just say that I don't know why I did not like that book that higher as people actually do. I think it's the thing that is to blame is that people actually hyped me up about this book so much that I did not like it that way. If people wouldn't have like hyped me up that much, this definitely would have been higher, I think, in my rating. But now it has been done and it cannot be undone. But still, excellent book from her. You will never guess, it was ranked 3rd in Agatha Christie's 125th birthday voting. And wow, it's typical countryside crime, but the solution is just like, how can I explain? I'm falling short of words for this one. The solution is mind-blowing. Love it, absolutely love it still. Number 6, Sleeping Murder. Murder in Retrospect, a past case. And this book is something that I really enjoyed, like, a lot, okay? This is one book that I highly recommend to you, because I think, like, although it is Sleeping Murder, okay, so one thing I'll mention over here is that 5 Little Pigs was a mystery that was totally set in the past, but this is in the past. But then as things are things are digging up again and the past is dug up, things start getting mysterious in the present as well, and it's just a wonderful book, and I absolutely love it. You should definitely read this one, because I am falling short of words again for this one. Alright, now coming in at the top 5s, we have got a number 5, Murder is Announced. So this is actually one book that I've very recently read from Agatha Christie, and it is mind-blowing. Like, guys, I have, like, the last few books, like 2 or 3, and now they're coming. I'll just say they're excellent books, because they're like truly excellent ones over there. Like, Agatha Christie, this is my first 14 books that I've ever read from Agatha Christie, so I definitely put that on the best ones. So that's why I'm saying best, because these definitely are the ones that will, like, even if I do the entire thing, they will definitely be, like, except for 1 or 2 books, they'll definitely be in the top 20s, because these are really good ones from her, because I of course picked up better ones from her in these first 14. But yeah, Murder is Announced. A murder is actually announced in the Chipping Cleghorn Gazette, and people like, murder? Like, this is so weird, and I think it's so clever of Christie to think about this, that she actually announces murder, and the solution is amazing. And I think the storyline as well is very nicely done, and you don't feel bored, or feel like, oh my god, when the solution is gonna come or something like that. I think this book keeps you in it really nicely, and yeah, it is a very good book. Like, I loved reading this one, and it was true fun. Like, amazing from her. Very nice. ABC Murders, a different take now, coming at number 4. It's a serial killer at loose, and wow, this really gave me those goosebumps. Like, guys, it's like the entire country, and then there's like a serial killer killing people according to the place where they live and according to the names and surnames. It's like Miss Alice Asher in Andover, and then Betty Barnard in Bexhill. It's like, wow, the entire country is the setting, and Hercule is actually like you're literally investigating right here, and the murderer could be in the other like corner of the country. But then like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I could not think of how Agatha Christie is gonna pinpoint one single person out of all of this huge setting, and this was amazing. Like, she did a wonderful job. It's like amazingly done book, and you don't feel like the solution is very vulgar or vague or something. It's very well done, and that serial killer aspect really, give me that thrilling factor, and it was really nice. So amazing. Coming in the top 3s, we come to Death on Nile, which is a good for our case. Now the video is extending a lot. It's starting 15 minutes now, so I'll just say that Death on the Nile is a brilliant book. I absolutely love books that Agatha does in foreign lands. It's in Egypt, of course, on the Nile, and these kind of books that there's a murder amongst us and the murder cannot escape. It's basically a steamer, people are there and there's murder, so it's basically a murder on the steamer, and those kind of things are just my favorite, and that's exactly what's happening in this one. Coming in at number 2, I have And Then There Were None. Wow. Like, wow. 10 people stranded in an island, both tides are up, so there's no communication, and people start to die. Like, only 10 people. It's like an island, like, all blank, flat, and then there's a house in the middle, and people are dying. Wow, this is amazing. Like, so clever of Christie, and the solution is amazing. It's a little psychological as well, but I think it's like beautifully done, and you just feel it like, oh my god, 10 people and they're dying all of a sudden, and there's like nobody else on the island because it's like a flat island and just one house sitting on it, and it's amazing because they're like stranded on the island because the tide is up and no communication from the shore is actually reaching them. Amazing. And now for part 1, number 1 winner, we come to The Murder on the Orient Express. Excellent. Like, wow, this is amazing. I'm saying too much of wows in this, view, but it's actually a murder amongst us. It's like the Death on the Nile, it's on the Orient Express. Like that exquisite setting, the Orient Express, that pinnacle of luxury, and there's murder, and people are like, the train is trapped in a snowdrift, and there's murder, and like, wow, that's crazy. So the suspect list is, shot, and it's a murder like between those people. So these kind of stories are like crazy, like how people actually protect themselves and actually lie. Like, one of the persons that Hercule is actually reviewing this, you feel like is gonna be the murderer. So it's like wow factor in that, and I love those kind of books, and this is amazing. The setting is also very nice because I'm really in for those luxurious kind of things, but solution is mind-boggling, mind-blowing, amazing. Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express it is, guys. Highly recommend this one, and I'll just say that safely I can say that this will always stay number 1 for my Agatha Christie list. 17.5 minutes. Please. Bye. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.